All right. Good morning and welcome to the Mid-States Minority Supplier Development Council 2022 Procurement Conference. After 2 long years, it is a pleasure to see so many of you in person. I'm Dennis Truax. I'm the chairman of the board of Mid-States and the associate vice president of procurement at Eli Lilly. As we get started, I want to thank the entire Mid-States team, Carolyn Mosby, Angela Franklin, Luther Taylor, Daryl Johnson, James Knight, and Madeline Gregory for all their work organizing today's conference. With the release of its 2022 strategic plan, the National Minority Supplier Development Council, of which Mid-States is one of 23 regional affiliates, set an ambitious goal to support minority business to achieve $1 trillion in annual revenue by 2026. This goal represents a more than doubling of current revenue generated by MBEs. The purpose of our gathering today is to take action to move us forward to achieving that $1 trillion goal. This conference is about action, not words. Our success will be determined by the new and expanded contracts for MBEs that are created today. As you participate in the conference, I ask 3 things of you. First, if you could please be present. We all have many distractions in our days, many things competing for our attention. Do your best to be focused on our goals for today. Keep your mind with us. Be open to new possibilities, to new ways of achieving your goals, to new ways of working with each other, and to new companies who are in the process of building a performance track record and a reputation. And third, be prepared to act. As I said, the ultimate measure of our success is tangible growth for MBEs. We need everyone to bring a bias for action, to turn intentions into new and expanded business awards of business. Before we move to the next section of the program, I have some important news about Mid-States to share with you. After 11 years as president and CEO, Carolyn Mosby has decided the time is right to take the next step in her career. Effective June 30th, Carolyn will step down as president and CEO to become vice president of marketing communications for a global technology firm in Georgia. I'm going to stop there for a minute and let you soak on that. This is big and important news. Mid-States, and in fact the entire community of stakeholders working to advance MBE success, have benefited from Carolyn's exceptional leadership for the past 11 years. During her time as president and CEO, she's led a restructuring of Mid-States, expanding its service area from Indiana to include Central Illinois and Eastern Missouri. She's advanced programming for corporations and minority businesses. Most recently, this includes the successful fundraising for and launch of the Accelerate 100 Plus program. She has entered into strategic partnerships with financial institutions and grant-making organizations to scale minority business and create greater access to contracting opportunities. One of those partnerships was through the Indianapolis Minority Business Development Agency and operated by Mid-States MSDC. It was named the top MBDA center in the nation in 2014 by the U.S. Department of Commerce. It created 1,000 jobs and more than $330 million in contracting opportunities. Carolyn is also considered a leader within the NMSDC network, serving on the board of directors for NMSDC and holding several officer positions within the NMSDC affiliate president's leadership group. She was the first recipient of NMSDC's Vanguard Award for leadership by a regional council president. Most recently, over the past 2 years, Carolyn has successfully navigated Mid-States through the COVID pandemic, with the organization emerging stronger than ever. Carolyn's decision to take this next step isn't a complete surprise. She informed the board well over a year ago that she intended to relocate and start the next phase of her career in 2022. The board will initiate a succession planning process and will work with Carolyn over the next 2 months to ensure a smooth transition. On behalf of the entire board of directors, I want to thank Carolyn for her exceptional service to and leadership of Mid-States, and wish her the very best as she moves forward in her next adventure. So please join me in thanking Carolyn.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. I assumed that my departure was actually one of the worst kept secrets in Indianapolis, since I told family, friends, associates, my staff, and others that my plan was to leave this position in 2022 because it coincides with my son graduating from high school and heading off to college, and then me celebrating 11 years with the council just a few weeks ago, actually. When I started with Mid-States 11 years ago, I said then that this wasn't in my plan or on my radar to become president and CEO of this organization, but it was through the encouragement of Bill Edwards and Andy Crow that I reluctantly submitted my resume, not even expecting or wanting to be offered the job, actually. I went through the interview process and I proceeded to the final round, which included a presentation before the entire board of directors. Now, for some people that don't like to speak in front of large audiences, you know, that might have been intimidating, but I was used to doing that, speaking in front of large audiences and being interviewed on TV and doing presentations. So I thought, you know, I'll just go in not really prepared, do the bare minimum, and then that way they won't think I want the job, they won't think I'm good. But so much for that theory. And I don't even think I was home for 30 minutes before they called and offered me the job. And so 11 years later, here I am. So, and I've never worked any place more than 4 years on purpose. But the mission of this organization and my historical connection to minority business development in Indiana, with my mom, the late State Senator Carolyn Mosby, who authored the legislation that created the state of Indiana's MWBE program, actually led me to accepting this opportunity to work on behalf of minority businesses in Central Illinois, Indiana, and Eastern Missouri. And I believe that any good leader knows when it's time to move on, when it's time to give others an opportunity to make an impact, to bring new perspectives, fresh ideas, and renewed energy. And that time for me is now. While my last day with the council will be June 30th, I still have a lot of work to do between now and then. And when I leave, I may be physically far away in Georgia, but I'll remain connected to the mission of the organization because my new position as vice president is actually with a Class 4 global technology minority business in the Atlanta area. It's been a pleasure to work with all of you. The board of directors has been awesome and so supportive, and I couldn't have asked for a better group of leaders to work with. The staff is absolutely amazing. We're a very tight-knit group, and I really appreciate the support of every Mid-State staff person that has worked with me the past 11 years. The staff this year had to take on additional responsibility for this event after the departure of Danica Thomas, who had been with us for a long time. So a special shout out and thanks to the current team. They were all very stressed out, and they'll be happy when today is over. But we will have another opportunity to gather and connect before June 30th. And as I said, I still have a lot of work to do between now and then, which includes today's conference. So I now have the pleasure of introducing Gordon Brooks, who is the Chief Procurement Officer for Eli Lilly and Chairman of the Procurement and Participation Task Force for Business Equity for Indy. Gordon is going to share some important information on business equity for Indy and the task force. Following his remarks, I'll return with some final information, announce the winner of our first drawing, and provide instructions on how to ensure that you have a productive day here at the conference. Gordon?
Thank you, Carolyn, and congratulations. You leave deep footprints, and we look forward to working with you the next few weeks. So good morning, everyone, and thanks to Mid-States for facilitating an excellent program today. It's fantastic to see so many live attendees here and moving away from video. So I appreciate the opportunity to spend a few minutes talking about the Procurement and Participation Task Force, which is one of the key work streams from the Business Equity for Indy initiative. So the Indy Chamber, in partnership with Mid-States, invites all central Indiana businesses, so that's all of you, to join the Procurement Roundtable. And the initiative really simply is purposed to, to support the development and growth of black business enterprises, both the number of enterprises and the amount of spend with them. So what do? We support corporations, and we support them in their journey to adopting best practices in supplier diversity and outcomes through various measures, quarterly forums, newsletters, small group peer advisor sessions, and even one-on-ones if they're needed. We provide access to a database of minority suppliers, an excellent resource, and facilitate data collection to ensure that we're measuring our collective progress. For Chamber members, there's no cost to be involved unless you wish to contribute to the capital fund, and we'll share more details about that today. We support black business enterprises by ensuring there's an allocation of capital. We help you to connect to support networks, resources, outreach programs, and very excited that we have a new partnership with the Indy Black Chamber to ensure that we're doing more to support corporate supplier matchmaking. So the bottom line is we're here to help. We want to move everyone along in their journey on supplier diversity, and all we need from you is your commitment and active participation. This is not meant to be a financial outlay for any company. We just want you to be engaged and involved, and we're actually at the first table just outside the room today and looking forward to hopefully speak to all of you over the course of the day. So we're fortunate to have the support of many founding partners, and many of you are here today. We have very active chairpersons, John Thompson from Thompson Distribution, Craig Reed is here with us today from Corteva, and Ilya Yufa from Eli Lilly. And we're very lucky to have Reggie Williams, who's a nationally acclaimed diversity and supplier consultant in the U.S. He is advising us. And of course, day-to-day management, we're very spoiled to have Stacia Murphy and her team from the Indy Chamber. Stacia is the Director of Equity, Outreach, and Strategic Partnerships at the Chamber. And there'll be many shout-outs for Carolyn today, but a special one from me. Your partnership, personal partnership, and Mid-States has been really critical to the success of the roundtable. So the good news is that we're already making progress. This time, our baseline spend in 2021 is $376 million with black corporations in the Indiana area. We have approximately 60 companies actively engaged in the roundtable. We've initiated at least 35 new relationships with black-owned businesses, and 18 companies have signed the pledge. And the pledge is a document that commits those companies to adopting the 8 best practices in supplier diversity. So, of course, our goal is simple. All we want to do is significantly increase all these numbers, and our goal for the end of this year is that we have more than 100 companies actively engaged. And, of course, we'll be looking at all of you today and see if we can get a few extra ones to engage. So this is my final slide, and ask of each of you here today. If you're a corporation, the question to you is, have you assigned someone in your company to look at supplier diversity? And have you asked them to engage in the roundtable? And do you have a concrete goal for spend with diverse suppliers? A really simple, couple of simple questions to ask yourself. And if you're a black business enterprise, please engage with us. Go ahead and submit your interest through the BBE survey. Come and speak to us outside at our table today, and consider being a member of the Indy Chamber. Sign up for a coaching session with the Indy Chamber. They have an excellent group that can help you link with a network of suppliers and think through things like capital needs. So please contact Stacia Murphy. You'll see her today just outside the room if you have questions. Her email should be up on the slide, and we'll make that available to everyone today. So thank you again for the opportunity to talk to you. I'm very excited about the progress we've made. I'm excited about the opportunity ahead, and I just ask each of you to engage, think about your company and how you can engage to help us move the roundtable forward, but more importantly, that we increase equity and inclusion for black-owned and minority-owned companies in central Indiana. So Carolyn, I think it's back to you.
Okay, so we have about 15 minutes before the first session starts, so I'm going to blow through these pretty quickly. Thanks, Gordon. Mid-States is actually very happy to partner with this initiative, and we definitely appreciate the support and the partnership of everyone involved. I encourage you guys all to visit the Indy Chamber's resource table in the lobby to learn more about business equity for Indy. The City of Indianapolis's MWBE program also has a resource table in the lobby, so please visit them as well. So now I have a couple of announcements to get through really quickly. First, for the safety of everyone in attendance, we really encourage you to stay masked while you're in the facility. The event is being live streamed by Cantaloupe TV today, and we want to say a special hello to those people that are joining us virtually. That were not able to join us in person. The first Executive Industry Forum starts at 10:30 a.m. sharp. The first virtual matchmakers also start at 10:30 a.m. So everyone should have their meeting schedules. If you don't have it, please see Brandon at the matchmaker check-in desk. But they were emailed to you in advance. If you have a virtual appointment, you'll log on using the link that was provided in the email. And if you don't have the link or your schedule, please see Brandon. For those that are virtual, if you have questions, please email us at info@midstatesmsdc.org. Please don't be late for your appointments. We have also provided as giveaways, courtesy of our title sponsor, Anthem, headphones that could be used when taking a virtual appointment from this location. And there are two designated rooms, one next door here, and one is the actual matchmaker room at the end of the hall that you can use for your virtual appointment. Lunch will be served at noon. There is no formal program during lunch this year. We just encourage you to use the time to network and to visit our diverse business marketplace that also opens at noon. So the tables you see in the hallway, that's where the vendors will be. And you'll be able to, I lost my place on the teleprompter. Keep going, please. And you'll also be able to enjoy some interviews online with some of our vendors. So when you arrived this morning, you received your conference badge, and inside the plastic holder in the back are 2 red drink tickets. And that those can be used at the reception that goes from 3 to 6 today. And then there's a card with some instructions on how to use Social Point. It's a digital passport that will allow you to check in as you visit our diverse business marketplace where we have vendors selling their products. So at each table, you'll enter the passcode that the vendors can give to you. And if you visit at least 8 of the 12 vendors, you're going to be automatically entered to win one of these prizes: a Logitech mouse and keyboard, a projector, some Bluetooth headphones, and 2 very nice Coach briefcases. Vendors will be in the lobby by the Hamilton Connor Ballroom starting at noon, and you'll be able to do some shopping. So we encourage you to visit them and engage in a little retail therapy. You can speed it up a little bit. I'm talking fast. So joining us today are AF Clothing, that have T-shirts and sweatshirts that amplify consumers' thoughts, feelings, and emotions. We have Andrew Porter's Fine Clothiers. Men, if you need a custom suit, be sure you go to see Andrew Porter. They also have some ties and other things. We have Belief Coffee, Kim's Gourmet Cookies, an artist with some artwork, Aisha Cargill, Cretia Cakes, Southern Baked Goods, Raven Cat Company, which is actually Maddie Gregory, who works for us, her company. John Tom's Barbecue, Nutrients of the Sea, we'll have sea moss, Ice Cream for Candles, and Witty by Cody, who makes some fabulous clothes. So if you visit the Mid-States table in the marketplace, you guys can actually purchase the 2 books that I authored, Unflappable, which is my autobiography I wrote 12 years ago, and the Remembering My Mom journal, which is a journal I created in 2020 for individuals that have lost their mothers. It's a way to capture some of those favorite memories of mom, and it's a nice gift for Mother's Day if you know someone that has experienced the loss of their mother. All right, we're almost at the end here. So we also have a 360-degree fun camera in the lobby right as you come in, where you can take action video with a little music with a friend or coworker or by yourself and post it to social media. And if you need a new headshot, Faith Blackwell Photography is located in the Greyhound meeting room, and she's taking headshots today for a fee. If you made an appointment in advance, please go at your scheduled time, but walk-ups are also welcomed. Now, just about everybody in the room probably recognizes these 2 characters, right? Wilma Flintstone and Betty Rubble. The show debuted in 1960, and we all know that Wilma and Betty don't look like this anymore, right? Well, some of you guys are still using your headshots from 1960, and y'all don't look like that anymore. And in reality, Wilma and Betty probably look more like this today. So my point is, if you have not updated your headshot in the past 5 years, it is officially a baby picture. So please get an updated professional headshot today. A big thank you to all of our sponsors, Anthem, our title sponsor, Champion Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram, our MBE title sponsor, Fine Line Printing, our printing sponsor, Citizens Energy Group, Creative Office Solutions, Duke Energy, IU Health, Eli Lilly, Toyota, Worldwide Technology, Zones, Telemon Corporation, MasterCard, Salesforce, and Allison Transmission. And as I said earlier, we're giving away some nice prizes today, and you have to be present to win, and you must participate in the social circle game. So before we dismiss, I do have a prize for someone here in person, and the first prize is an Apple iPad. So I'm going to quickly do this and pull out a card. I'm not looking. And the winner is Michael Futch, VP of Business Development, Innovation Officer at Norco.com. Norco. So if you see me afterwards, you'll get your iPad. So now it's time to get this conference underway. Enjoy the day. We look forward to networking with everyone. And for those online, thank you for joining us. And we hope you also have an engaging virtual experience. Thank you.